Howdy, YouTube. We are here with the background NPC. I was only going to do Nintendo Direct, but I saw our Queen uploaded. Also, there's some other ones we didn't watch. But we're going to check this because it's the newest one. No, it's not 7 days ago. Never mind. 19 hours ago. That doesn't sound right. Okay, we'll react to both just in case. Again, background NPC. Going to give her a like. Give her a sub if you like her. How do you not like her? She's delightful.
So this past
Let's see what she has to say
I
about
saw
what do they
3
keep doing
different
this.
video game adaptation announcements, and one of them sent me down quite the rabbit hole. We
Oh,
got
Lord.
the Legend of Zelda live-action casting news, which actually looks pretty promising, by the way. And then Netflix reminded us that they still have that Assassin's Creed show in the works.
They have a show coming.
And
Honestly, that
apparently a Mortal Kombat.
gotta be honest with you, I think that would make a phenomenal show. Not gonna lie. I don't know if they're gonna do it well, but as far as the show goes, it would be wonderful.
2 trailer dropped. Now, I had seen tons of posts about the Zelda casting, but I genuinely had no idea if there was even a Mortal Kombat trailer until I was scrolling on social
Is
media
there?
one night before bed and happened across a video with over 900,000 views asking one very specific question. Why is Jade bald? I thought, huh?
Hey,
And
women
pulled
can
up
be
the trailer.
bald. It's
Basically,
2025.
that single question
They could do what they
sparked the
want.
idea for this whole video because it made me think, shoot, here we go again. At this point, I don't know. how many
She had to
times
censor
they've
the
done this
GTA
to us,
reference.
but I would really.
She's too wholesome for this
really
world,
love for
guys.
it to stop. So, bald Jade. To
Listen, there's nothing wrong with bald. Bald can work. Bald can work for some people. I mean, as long as you're not doing it to like send a message or be political in some way, bald can absolutely work. Like lady from the Black Panther movie. I don't remember her name. Hot. It's mainly because she has the fighting skills and confidence. The bald did not matter. Bald only matters if you don't have a personality to back it up.
be totally honest with you, I'm not a massive Mortal Kombat fan. And like I said, the only reason I even knew this trailer dropped was because my entire timeline just exploded. Everyone was talking about Jade being bald, but even I.
Oh, that's Jade. I did not pick up on that. Oh, that's Jade. That's not good. People love Jade. You got to be absolutely sure you were not messing this up.
Someone who isn't all that familiar with the franchise still know
See, that's what I thought this was about. Her. I thought this was about her specifically.
that Jade is a super iconic female character. I've seen her all throughout the franchise over
Yeah.
the years.
Does that bald lady look anything like any of these? Why would Jade go bald? I don't understand. Like, this I believe is also still a braid and not like a short haircut. I don't follow a lot of Mortal Kombat. I haven't played in a very long time. I used to play like the original Mortal Kombats, and I think I played with an ex-girlfriend playing one of them on. I do not remember. It was a console nobody used. I can't remember what it was.
And this whole bald thing was really confusing me. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I went digging through 30 years of Mortal Kombat history. And you know what I found? At no point during any adaptation, any game, anything, was Jade ever without hair. Not once. In 3 decades. Here's the kicker. This got so much attention
Yeah,
that
that looks like the girl from that game that we're not playing. I don't remember the name of it because we're not playing it. It's the one that with the 80s sci-fi feel to it because, you know, they're stuck in the 80s, want to relive their youth, so they have to force it on everybody else. But it looked like her. That's who I thought that was.
one of the movie's producers actually responded to a tweet about the whole thing. And his answer was essentially, you'll have to wait and see what the reason is. I'm sorry, what? You developed lore about making her bald? I don't know.
Why
this
is
some
there
sort
lore
of
about her being
reverse
bald?
engineering of the Tough Girl pipeline where characters now grow their hair out instead of cutting it off? Because that would be refreshing. And I'm sure this is completely unrelated, but let me just show you a few other recent projects this actress has been in.
Oh, so she's just always bald and everything. Oh, it is the same girl? Okay. So she's bald because she wants to be bald and they won't let... And she... I assume her contract's like, I'm not wearing a wig. I want to be bald.
Including that upcoming Naughty Dog game where
That one.
Oh my gosh, she's bald. She's bald and she's torturing people who have hair.
but I'm sure that's just a total coincidence, right?
She did not use a Totally Spies reference. God, we love this woman.
With this brand new introduction of Jade's mysterious hair lore. You know what's even more wild about this whole thing? the media's reaction. I was reading some of their responses.
They're
to
being really
fans
weird about
questioning
Tati Gabriel's
Jade's
Jade and then Mortal Kombat.
newfound baldness, and
How are they being weird? They're the fans. They're the ones whose money you want. That's not being weird. That's being concerned that you're going to try and take their money and then preach to them about something. That's very, very fine. That's okay. That's understandable, actually.
I happened to also come across this article about the Legend of Zelda live action casting. And honestly, the comparison between the two is just chef's kiss. This same publication, while shaming fans for not accepting the modernized Jade,
Whose dream was Hunter Schafer being the Princess of Zelda? Whose? Named him. Wait, forget Pokemon friends, want to play Pokemon enemies. What is this? What is this right here? Is this like a mod or something? Okay.
a character that's been established.
Name me
for
one person you know who's a big fan of Zelda who actually wants this. Not just somebody online who complained about it.
decades, was also simultaneously complaining about a missed opportunity on Nintendo's part, saying that they should have cast a certain actor for the role of Princess Zelda because it was
Yeah, good luck telling Nintendo they did anything wrong. I'm sure they'll absolutely listen to you. A random game journalist who, if they told you to bark, would create a 20-page article of barking in what pitch, what dog it sounds like, and what fursona you are.
a perfect match. It's almost sad at this point, the blatant double standard that they just can't seem to see. When it fits the narrative, visual accuracy is super important. When it doesn't, suddenly fans are the problem for calling it out. This, of course, all ties into things that have been happening across Western.
What do you mean only one right princess? See, saying you should have done that is one thing. Saying there's only one right princess, that's absolutely egotistical. That's saying that your opinion is the right opinion, and at that point you're saying your opinion is fact. And that's not how opinions work. This is delusional. Hold on. Written by Sandeep Kishan of course.
Media for years now, and these
Oh, this was written by Luke Macy. Said they botched the live-action Legend of Zelda. Hey, Luke, I wonder if we go on Luke's profile on Twitter, or perhaps maybe Blue Sky, more accurately, if they have... Which pronouns are on there? Not even if they have them. Which pronouns are they pushing up at the top of their profile?
live action adaptations just make
Like,
it
calm
so
down.
painfully obvious. At the heart of all of this, it really seems like so many of the people making these adaptations don't actually have respect for the source material.
A director who's already seen Mortal Kombat 2 says an actor who received backlash for her casting did a good job, and people doth protest too much. The fact that he said people doth protest too much immediately nullifies his opinion in every possible way. This is someone who is, Emily Garbutt. She has butt in her name. Suspicious. Wonder why. How that happened. Smug face. Smug face.
Or for us, the audience. At this point, it even feels like active contempt. On
Like,
just the
this was so bad, I didn't even know my model could do a smug face like that. Like, I was unaware I could do that. It invented a smug face on my model.
storytelling end of this, it's almost this attitude of we know better. They look at these beloved characters and worlds that have made billions of dollars and created passionate fan bases and somehow think, yeah, but we can improve this.
Yeah, how do you do better than something Nintendo's already perfected? Like, first of all, it's Nintendo. Say what you will about them, they know how to milk money. They know how to milk the money out of their fans. You telling them they're doing it wrong, that's our job. We're the fans. We know what they're doing wrong. What they're doing is the right thing that will make them the most amount of money, and good for them on that. They hired the right people for the job, not the people you think should have been hired because of, well, definitely not qualifications. That's not why you want them hired.
We can modernize it. For a while now, that modernizing always seems to mean the same thing. Cramming in some lecture or unwanted ideologies that don't serve the story or characters. They don't do it because it makes narrative sense. They do it because someone decided the original wasn't progressive enough for their mythical modern audience.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's not supposed to be progressive. It's supposed to be aggressive.
Here's the thing. We've already connected with these characters and worlds. We already love them just the way they are. We've spent hundreds, sometimes thousands of hours with them. When you improve them by making unnecessary changes or stripping away what made them special in the first place, you're essentially telling us that our love was misplaced, that we were wrong to care about them as they were, and that your new versions are better, that they are actually what we should care about instead. Nowhere is this more obvious than with HBO's The Last of Us.
Okay. I've never seen this, never going to see this. I never played either one of the games. I have no intention of playing either one of the games. Honestly, they look boring and terrible. I understand if you like them. I can see the appeal of at least the first one. The second one, if you like that, I think there might be something wrong with you, and you should probably get some therapy. But you're also allowed to like that, and I would never say don't play that, and I would never try and take it away from you. But the show, first of all, I hate Pedro Pascal. He's a creep. I don't know her. I think I've seen her in something. I can't remember what it is, but I don't remember disliking her. But from what I understand, the first season was phenomenal, and then it goes downhill because it decides after the first season it wants to focus on Abby. Am I correct? And they want to spend multiple seasons focusing on Abby for some stupid reason. So you wanted to focus on the second game, which was the least popular and had the most haters, for more seasons than you wanted to focus on the critically acclaimed game.
I know some of you out there enjoyed The Last of Us, and if you did, I respectfully question your taste. And ask you
Amen,
to please
sister.
cover your
Amen, sister. We are praying for you.
ears for this next part. I just couldn't get there. And it wasn't just one thing, it was everything. The whole show. Before it even released, I could not get behind the casting at all for pretty much any character. The only person who felt right to me was Marlene. And how could she
Okay,
not?
that actually looks a lot like each other. Like, there's obvious differences, but like if you look at like if in a vague sense, it's enough. Like if you can like kind of squint your eyes and they look the same, obviously it's not going to be perfect character in video game to real life person, but this looks pretty accurate. Well, accurate enough. Again.
It's the same actress that played her in the game, so of course.
Dude, really? It's the same person who voiced her? That's actually dead on. Holy crap. You're going to have the exact voice? That's really good for getting immersed. Holy crap.
Felt authentic. But the checkbox casting was honestly just the beginning of my issues. Then there were the story changes that made everything worse. How the infection spreads, Tess's death, weird time jumps, and of
I don't know who
course
Tess
the
is.
foundational changes made to Joel and Ellie, starting with what they did to Joel's character.
Kind of looks like him, I guess. Not. I've never seen them side by side. I can kind of see the nose, but like he's angry, so the nose looks different with the angry face. He looks lost and scared. That's probably not good.
Right off the bat, they completely softened him. Game Joel was morally ambiguous, closed off, pragmatically violent. That's what made him so compelling. He wasn't depicted as a hero, but as a
'Cause he's not.
multi-layered, complicated man that the player got to know over time. But the show took all of that away and turned him into this weird, emotional, soft, one-dimensional
That sounds about right for Pedro Pascal, ruining everything with deep emotion he doesn't need to have.
version that had completely lost all of that hard edge. And the biggest problem with this is that by doing that, by fundamentally changing his character throughout the whole show, you destroy his entire character arc. His relationship with Ellie in the game is powerful because it's a bond that shouldn't have formed. He starts out
Yeah, he's supposed to be cold and distant, but like she is the one who softens himself. If he starts off soft, that doesn't make any sense because he is trying to survive and he's trying to make sure she survives even though he doesn't want to, but she eventually wears him down and grows on him until he actually loves her like a daughter. And that's like the whole thing. If he starts off soft with his walls down, that doesn't grow. That's not growth. That's not them bonding and coming together and affecting each other. That's not how you tell a story.
Food closed off and then slowly opens up over the course of a year. When Joel makes a joke with Ellie or shows any vulnerability, it means something.
Yeah, it's earned. It's earned vulnerability, not just, hey, come hug me every single time we see each other so I can make sure you're okay. And since it's Pedro Pascal, will you rub my face? Because I have anxiety, never around men only around pretty women.
The game had earned those moments. The show, on the other hand, wanted all the emotional payoff without doing any of the work to get there. And then there's Ellie. Again, right off the bat, they turned her into this combative character who's activated by violence. Their word, not mine. The
What?
showrunners literally said Ellie gets excited when Joel beats someone to death because it
What?
shows they're magnets destined to click together. That's
No.
just
Isn't that the exact opposite of what happens in the game? Again, I've never played the game, but I feel like that's not how that goes.
weird and not Ellie at all. Game Ellie
Okay,
is
yeah, I was about to say.
consumed by survivor's guilt. She's terrified of being alone. She's deeply empathetic. She doesn't like violence. She's disturbed by it. And all of this only adds to her development by the time we get into the meat of part 2. Because again, you have this really impactful arc of who she was in the first game versus how much she's grown and changed since then. But the show decided to make a total mockery of all of that. To me, the whole thing felt like character assassination. Like, someone looked at these beloved, complex characters and said, yeah, but what if we made them more likable? What if we made Joel softer so he's more immediately sympathetic? What if we made...
So they switched their characters then? That was a choice. A bold, very wrong choice. But a choice.
Ellie more aggressive so she seems stronger? Like, why? If that's totally different from the actual characters they're supposed to be, why are we doing that? And I think this really came to the surface in season 2 because
Oh, God.
it became so clear that this wasn't just about adapting the story. It was this active contempt and disrespect for the original work. And honestly, for the audience too. The Last of Us isn't the only one.
Don't get me wrong, I get this. They did that with Borderlands. I used to love that series. After Tales, the new Tales from the Borderlands, original Tales was peak storytelling for Borderlands because the people who make Borderlands had nothing to do with it, and that's the only reason the story was good. But after that, I was like, why would they make an entire game focusing on the worst part of what they do in games? That's so stupid. And then they came out with the Borderlands movie, and it was just freaking everything that's wrong with Randy Pitchford being in charge of Borderlands. And that's why Borderlands 4 feels empty. I'd say empty. I don't feel anything towards Borderlands 4. Like, I want to play it because it's a new Borderlands game. I want to play the Borderlands game, but I also don't want to support anything Randy Pitchford has to do with it. And then it also it's changed so much. They made it like darker. They changed the HUD, and it doesn't feel like Borderlands anymore. And that might be the door they opened for me to leave the series. I don't know. Like, I want to be excited for Borderlands, but Randy Pitchford keeps coming in and kicking me in the testicles and saying, no, you be excited when I tell you to be excited. And then whenever he gives me the thing to be excited for, it's just like, it's a pile of crap. He just held out a pile of, he didn't even gift wrap it. He just picked it up with his hand, held it out, and said, give me $80.
Look at the Borderlands movie. They completely missed.
Nailed it. Not pre-watched. Just saying. Exactly. This is one of the big 3 things that are putting the final nail in the coffin for me for Borderlands.
On the casting, story development, and irreverent tone that made those games special, or the Halo show, where the creators openly admitted they hadn't played the games, and then stripped Master Chief of everything that made him iconic, taking his helmet off constantly.
Yeah, why is even this not have his helmet on? This is clearly a helmet on situation.
Making him emotional and rebellious. They turned him into just some guy. It's this pattern of, we can improve this, that keeps happening, and it's exhausting. But here's what gives me hope. Some studios out there actually do get it. We've all seen firsthand that when creators understand...
What's she going to talk about? Fallout. The Fallout show, right?
worlds special when they have genuine love for
Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with a lot of shows based on games because I either didn't play those games or I don't care about those games or the show looks awful.
the source material.
So
You
that's
can
really
feel
all
it
I have
in
is
the game.
Fallout.
Like, I knew literally nothing.
Also, Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, garbage. Dragon Ball movie, garbage. They do not know how to adapt anything whatsoever. I know those aren't video. I know those aren't video games. I'm just stating those as examples.
For Arcane, but I was emotionally
Yeah, I never watched that. I heard it was really, like, just absolutely fantastic. But I'm never gonna watch it. It looks depressing, and I don't really like being depressed.
destroyed
That's why I'm not playing Borderlands.
by Vi and Jinx within the first 3 episodes. And I knew that I was watching something very special. It was so obvious that the people behind the show wanted nothing more than to celebrate the characters that fans loved so much. And that's exactly what happened. Riot, with the help of Fortiche, put true love, care, and appreciation into what they created. And across the internet, you will basically find nothing but praise and love for their adaptation.
Very true.
That's what a good adaptation.
People would not shut up about this, and I'm like, go off. If you like League of Legends, or even if you never played it and you just like this show, good for you. I'm glad. I'm glad you have something that you can latch onto. And a lot of people latched onto this, and I'm very, very happy for them, because every time we get a great story, I'm excited for it. Especially if it brings people into, like, the nerd space, where they weren't as heavy before. I know a lot of people who watched it were in the nerd space, but they definitely weren't into League of Legends. I assume more people tried to play League of Legends and then quit because League of Legends is awful. If you play it, I assume it's because you've been playing it a long time and you just don't know, you just don't want to quit yet. And that's understandable. That's why I play World of Warcraft. I could easily quit, but I've been playing it so long, I have a lot of investment into it. And if they ever made something good for World of Warcraft, I'd probably be all over that.
Looks like taking what's already there and building on it with love. The animation was gorgeous, the voice acting was incredible, and every character felt so real and genuine. You could tell how much getting this right meant to Riot. They looked at their game characters and said, how can we show people why we love these characters so much? Or look at Cyberpunk Edgerunners. David and Lucy
Oh,
became
yeah.
characters.
I heard that was fantastic, too. I'm also not going to watch that because I assume it's going to go a very depressing route. But, like, everyone else really loved that. And I might get around to it one day because I would love to see the art style a little bit more.
But it still felt like
She didn't mention
all
Fallout,
that
though.
Corporate dystopia, the body modification obsession, the way technology both elevates and destroys people. Studio Trigger brought their signature animation style, but completely respected what the world actually is. CD Projekt Red was obviously working with them pretty closely, and by the end, genuinely
Obviously.
cared about characters you'd never heard of before, just because of how much respect and care went into telling the story.
Put
And
some
then there's
respect on
that-
Edgerunners.
That first design
I didn't think about Sonic. Okay, yeah. Sonic 1, that was a great movie. Sonic 2, I really enjoyed. I don't remember seeing Sonic 3. Is that... Yeah, I didn't watch Sonic. That's the one with Shadow, right? Yeah, I didn't watch that yet. But I assume it's going to be good, especially with Keanu Reeves. Oh, God, Keanu Reeves is Sonic. I'm Shadow. Nobody could have seen that coming.
dropped with those horrifying human teeth. They could have doubled down and said, this is our artistic vision. Deal with it. But instead, they actually listened to fans instead of turning on them.
And then
They
made
went back to the drawing
bank.
board, spent more money, delayed the movie, and gave us a Sonic that actually looked like Sonic. They humbled themselves, admitted they were wrong, and gave us an authentic version of the character we all
And that's why you listen to the customer. Money. You think it'd be a simple business practice, everybody would know, but no, apparently not.
all know and love. That's what respecting your audience looks like. That's what happens when you care more about getting it right than protecting your ego. And you might notice that all my examples here are essentially coming from animated adaptations. Yes, Sonic is
Fallout,
live
Fallout,
action,
not
but
animated.
We're just talking about his animated design. But that's because I'm still waiting for a live action adaptation that really nailed it. I feel like we still haven't gotten that, but please let me know if I'm forgetting one. I know
Fallout.
people have praised Fallout for me.
Yeah.
There were still quite a few misses in that.
There
film, and
was,
it-
but honestly, it's better than I thought we were going to get for Fallout. Bethesda ruins a whole lot of things they touch also. They're getting very, very Gearbox level, although they are the originators of ruining it, I guess. But, like, Gearbox fell faster, harder. Bethesda at least put some decent things in at some point. Like 76, absolute train wreck, but they did kind of rebuild it into something workable and actually enjoyable to play. 4 was boring story, but the gameplay was really good. It was the best looking up to the time. They just don't keep up with their stuff. If I am surprised that this turned out, although I guess I shouldn't be surprised. If it wasn't made by Bethesda, it was probably going to be good.
Was unfortunately enough to overshadow anything they might have done right. And then I know The Witcher was
Harsh.
technically a book adaptation.
Okay, first season was great. It started to fall off after that. Season 2 was, it was good. Yeah, it wasn't nothing to write home about, though. After that, you can stop watching, though.
So I won't even go down that road. I mean, are we really to the point where the Minecraft movie is our gold standard for live actions? Getting back on track, this all comes down to respect. Respect for the source material and respect for
And
the
that's why
audience.
Witcher
Respecting
died,
the
because
source-
they didn't respect the source material enough for Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I think it's Cavill, though. Henry Cavill to stay on board because he actually cared, and they wouldn't listen to him when he told them this is not how that would work. Their egos came before the project, and they wanted to push a message. A message.
material means working with established lore instead of constantly fighting against it. Understanding that these are characters people have spent hundreds of hours with. When you adapt a game, you're not just borrowing names and faces, you're inheriting relationships.
Yeah, you're adopting all the fans that come along with it, and they're going to have something to say about your parenting style.
That fans have built with these worlds. It can be as simple as getting the costume right, keeping a character's signature weapon, understanding their core personality traits, or, making sure
I forgot we were
they
talking
have
about that.
hair
It's been
when
such a
they're
journey.
Supposed to have hair. Of course, I'm
To be fair, I don't think this is hair. I think this is drape over her head, and since she's a skeleton-ish, is she a skeleton? She's kind of thick for a skeleton. What's up, skeleton girl? I don't know if she has hair. I don't know if this is hair or if this is just like a shawl or something she's wearing.
not saying you can't make any changes. I know sometimes you have to adapt things for
Yeah.
different mediums, but when you do make changes, they should feel like they're coming from a place of understanding. If you can't easily justify those changes to the fan base in a way that makes sense and feels natural, then you're probably missing something important about why people fell in love with the characters in the first place. Respecting the audience also means acknowledging that we're not dumb, okay? We know these worlds. We understand the lore.
Yeah, us sinking so many hours and so much of our life into these projects, that's kind of what you're banking on to make money, so you kind of have to listen to that.
We can tell when you've done your homework and when you haven't. It also means that when fans point out something that looks or feels off, you listen, instead of dismissing us all as toxic. Fans get vocal because we care. We love these characters, we love these worlds. When we point out something
Amen.
that doesn't feel right, it's not because we just want to be difficult. It's because these characters and stories mean something to us. Sonic Team understood that. They listened, they fixed it, and
And you think
look
that
how
everyone
turned
else would have
out.
learned
One
after that whole debacle. But no, they just can't put their egos aside. It's like they're being run by pirate software. Got 'em!
can only dream that others will start to do the same. So, Bald Jade led us down quite the rabbit hole. And here's what that glistening head clearly reminds us. When studios approach adaptations with respect and genuine love for the source material, they succeed. When they approach them with this contempt or this we know better attitude, they don't. We're not asking for perfection here, We're just asking for respect. The blueprint is already there. You have the source material, and all these characters and worlds are beloved for a reason. Don't take those reasons away from us, please. But seeing the success of things like Arcane and Edge Runners and the failure of things like, I think some studios are
I hope Borderlands 4 does terribly. So they actually right the ship. Maybe they can fire Randy Pitchford for... Like, he's beyond 3 strikes at this point. If you also include his Twitter crash outs. Like, I want Borderlands 4 to be good, so when I eventually play it, I enjoy it, but I feel like anything good about it will be an accident or in spite or despite Randy Pitchford. I was going to say in spite, but like everything I'm doing is in spite of Randy Pitchford. he really sucks the soul out of everything he touches, doesn't he?
Finally figuring out that working with and for fans instead of against them actually makes them more money. A wild concept, right? So let me ask you, which video game adaptation has hurt you the most? Which one gave you hope? Are you feeling optimistic about these latest announcements? Because even with everything we've talked about today, I'm still holding out hope. Our beloved characters deserve better. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.
Well, that was Background NPC. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like her. Like and subscribe if you like me. It really helps with the algorithm. Also, leave a comment down below. What series of yours has been tainted? Or what do you think has been the worst thing to come out of Hollywood in regards to an adaptation of everything? I feel like they're kind of recovering with some things, but then kind of like Last of Us and Witcher, after the first season, it just drops downhill once the writers get comfortable enough to try and start enforcing their way on everything. It's not going well, man. I do hope Borderlands 4 is good. I hope the next Pokemon game is good. And maybe we'll get, I heard the Netflix animated series actually looks pretty decent for Pokemon, but I'm going to watch it and see. I don't know if it's already out or not. I have to look it up. But honestly, I haven't been keeping up with anything. I haven't been keeping up with Marvels for the same reason, because the quality's declined. I'm down on Pokemon and Borderlands. I feel like both of these games are the last chances with me, especially if Nintendo's going all digital with their little key cards for the Switch 2 games, and if they start making things only for Switch 2, I'm not buying a Switch 2, man. I don't care. It's not worth it for me. So this has been depressing and not at all jolly. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe, stay hydrated. Catch me out on twitch.tv/MPlayTheJolly. We're shooting for 500 followers before my birthday, so come on in. It'd mean a lot to me. If not, I hope you enjoy whatever time you spent doing whatever you're doing. Love and nachos. Mwah.